Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing my part 2 of how to choose wine. How to choose wine when in a restaurant or a bar. Choosing wine is a really important decision. If you're going to be polluting your body with alcohol, you may as well make sure that it's alcohol that tastes good. Life's too short to drink bad wine, as the saying goes. But I think life's too short to drink wine you don't enjoy is a more appropriate term. What might be one man's Chateau Margaux is another man's Two Oceans. So you've got to a restaurant, the waiter gives you your menus and the wine list and you open it. And you're just confronted with page after page of words. How do you work out which one of those wines is going to make your evening? Okay, so it's a little bit trickier in a restaurant because you don't actually see the bottle. You can't judge a wine by its label or have a look at the back label and see what the tasting notes are. One thing that restaurants are starting to do is to segment their wine lists into the various grape varietals. Some restaurants will even classify their wine based on what the wine's like to drink. For example, they might have a light and crisp section and a rich and bold section. But if the restaurant you've chosen doesn't have this, the best thing is to just ask the waiter. The first thing to do is really check in with what you feel like drinking. I did mention this in my previous video. Really think about what kind of mood you're in, what you're going to be eating with your wine, and just the general occasion. Once you have a rough idea, you can then start trying to find your perfect wine. Just a little note about pairing wine with food. There are some very generalized wine pairing rules, if you want to call it that. So for example, light crisp wines are a perfect accompaniment to seafood or lighter dishes, and big bold red wines go really well with meat. However, if you're having a green salad and you're dying for that juicy Malbec, then fuck it, do it. And as you begin to drink more wine and eat more food with wine, you'll really get a sense of what wines and what foods go well together from your point of view. So just be adventurous and experiment. Okay, so say if you feel like that nice juicy Malbec like I mentioned, how do you find it? Well, if it's Malbec you definitely want, then it should be pretty easy. You'll look at the menu and then find the Malbec. But if you really don't know what exact varietal you want, then the first thing to do is just ask the waiter. Usually they're more than happy to give you advice. And very often they will have actually tried all the wines on the wine menu, so they'll be able to give you really good advice. Sometimes, however, some of the waiters don't have a clue. And this is where things get a little trickier. My first rule is don't automatically go for the cheapest wine on the list or the house wine, because usually these aren't the greatest at all. They're just put there to appeal to the kind of person that isn't really interested in drinking a nice glass of wine. They just want more bang for their buck. My next bit of advice is to go for a wine that is only served by the bottle, because these tend to be the nicer wines. If you're worried that you can't manage a whole bottle of wine in one sitting, don't worry. Just take the bottle of wine home with you and then you have a nice treat for the next night. The only downside about ordering a bottle of wine is that you won't be able to taste it before ordering it. Usually restaurants are really happy to give you a taster, but only if you're ordering a wine that's served by the glass. Okay, so you can't try your wine by the glass, the waiter knows jack shit. What to do. Like I mentioned in my last video, this is where Google comes in handy. However, if you're on a date, don't get your phone out in front of the other person because they will judge you. So either sneakily look at your phone under the table or excuse yourself, go to the bathroom and look it up there. Although if this isn't a first date, you might be able to get away with a sneaky look at your phone. If it's all in the name of choosing a good wine, of course. And if none of the above advice is getting you anywhere, then again, just play Russian roulette, pick one at random and see what happens. Remember guys, be adventurous when choosing your wine. Don't go for the names that you see everywhere, like the Bayer's Kloof Pinotage or Speer or Two Oceans. You know, step outside your comfort zone and choose something a little wacky. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Thanks for watching my video guys. Please leave any comments you might have below. Follow me on Twitter and all that jazz, and look forward to seeing you for another video. Happy drinking.